Nearly 5 months after Hurricane Maria hit Puerto Rico, the island is still struggling to fully recover. Efforts to restore electricity and access to water across the entire island have dragged on for months. President Trump has said that Puerto Rico's geography has slowed the recovery effort, but critics say the island and its people are not a priority to the federal government. Whatever the reason, the slow pace of recovery has led hundreds of thousands of Puerto Ricans who are American citizens to leave and relocate on the U.S. mainland, often in cities with large Puerto Rican populations. NewsHour Weekend's Yvette Feliciano has this report.
These days, this is a fairly typical start to the morning for the Rivera family in Hartford, Connecticut. Millie Rivera gets her 3 daughters ready for breakfast before catching the school bus, and Israel Rivera will soon head to start his shift at a Hartford window factory. But it's taken months to have a routine or sense of normalcy. Since November, the family of 5 has been living out of a single room at a Red Roof Inn because their home in Puerto Rico was badly damaged by Hurricane Maria. Maria's winds ripped the roof off of the Rivera's small house in rural Ciales in central Puerto Rico. They say most of their appliances, furniture, and family keepsakes were destroyed and that they have no insurance to cover their losses.
I'd love to have my house back the way it was. I put so much into that home. For 6 years, I worked so hard. Everything I earned, I invested in that home. We had no luxuries, rarely went out, rarely spent, just the basic necessities.
Yet the Riveras consider themselves far luckier than their friends and family still on the island. 2 days before Maria hit, Israel Rivera sold the family's 2 cars and with savings bought 5 plane tickets to the mainland.
I could have stayed. I'm an adult. I don't care. But I thought about my girls. The hurricane, the force with which it was coming, Category 5, I said, this will destroy everything. I imagined the chaos, the lines to buy water or gas. It was just with Hurricane Irma and things got bad. There was no gas. Imagine something like Maria. I just knew it.
He was right. Most of their town still has no power, and lines are down all over the Rivera's property. Their household is just one of more than 1.1 million displaced by Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico. Many survivors chose to come to places like Connecticut. The state has deep Puerto Rican roots, with waves of migration that date back to the 1940s. Here in Hartford, Connecticut's capital, 34% of the population identifies as Puerto Rican. The Federal Emergency Management Agency has placed almost 4,000 families in hotels across 41 states in Puerto Rico, 168 of them in Connecticut. Most of the displaced filed claims with FEMA and are waiting to hear if they qualify for financial or other additional assistance. The Riveras came to Hartford with about $1,000. With that money, Israel bought a car that cost $300, insurance, food, and warm clothing for the family. Israel found a job as a machine operator at the window factory within days of arriving that pays about $365 a week. But it wasn't enough, and the family was approved for food stamp assistance.
I am the type of person who doesn't wait for things to come to my doorstep. I believe in hard work. If you give me some help, I'll be grateful and I'll work hard to earn what I deserve.
His wife Millie is taking English classes while she looks for part-time work. But Rivera says the transition to life on the mainland has proven difficult and expensive.
We came from Puerto Rico out of necessity. We can't go back home. I'm not saying anyone should give me free housing. I can pay something reasonable. But I can't pay $1,000 rent when I only earn $1,500. Sometimes I wonder where all the money goes. It isn't easy. But there is no stove here, no refrigerator. We eat out a lot.
In late December, the Riveras were among more than 40 families at the hotel that faced potential eviction and homelessness. FEMA's transitional housing program was set to end by mid-January. But then FEMA extended the program through March 20th at the request of Puerto Rico's governor. Yet that was bittersweet news for the Riveras and about 10 other families at the hotel because they didn't qualify for the extension. Rivera says FEMA denied his family's financial assistance claim, saying they had effectively refused federal help because as they'd self-evacuated before the hurricane, no one was home when a FEMA inspector came to visit. Because of FEMA's decision, the Riveras were no longer eligible for the transitional housing program. They were told they would still have to leave by mid-January. Other families were told the same. Some said hotel staff told them they had less than 24 hours to get out. FEMA told NewsHour Weekend it gave 6 to 7 days advance notice to any families asked to leave their temporary housing. Meanwhile, grassroots Puerto Rican activists and elected officials asked the state of Connecticut to step in. In mid-January, the state partnered with nonprofits like United Way and the Salvation Army and allocated $100,000 to keep families like the Riveras in the hotels through March 20th. But Connecticut Governor Dannel Malloy believes the federal government should have been playing a larger role in that effort.
This is a different model that for some reason is being applied to the people of the Commonwealth that we have never applied to a state-to-state basis. Why don't we treat our fellow citizens living in Puerto Rico the same way we would treat folks living in New Jersey or New York or Washington, D.C.
FEMA says the transitional housing program is just one of several sheltering options available to displaced families. And this month, it provided Connecticut with 10 new Spanish-speaking disaster management caseworkers at the state's request. Malloy says the state could use even more caseworkers, plus bilingual educators, and funds for affordable housing. Meanwhile, the governor just asked for $400,000 in the state's proposed budget to support Maria evacuees. But it may not be enough to cover the costs. The state estimates it has welcomed between 3,500 to 5,000 displaced Puerto Ricans since Hurricane Maria. And the state's school system accommodated close to 2,000 new students from the Caribbean this school year.
The nature of our response network in the United States, it shouldn't be dependent on charity and shouldn't be dependent on state governments doing for citizens of other commonwealths or states the things that their government would otherwise do or their federal government would step in and help.
Thank you for calling 211. My name is Annette. How can I help you?
Here in Hartford, an emergency response center funded by the state and its partners directs new arrivals to available social services. But for the families at the hotel, it is the grassroots efforts of Hartford's local Puerto Rican community that have been filling in the gaps where other resources are lacking. Every week from Monday through Thursday at this church in Hartford, volunteers prepare dinners for the families staying at the hotel. In November, the staff at the Capital Region Education Council, a Connecticut nonprofit focused on education, raised $150,000 in private donations to launch a Hurricane Maria Relief Center in Hartford. Puerto Rican volunteers and local groups partnered with government agencies to create a one-stop shop for new arrivals. Here they can receive everything from warm clothes and groceries to job leads.
The first month when everybody started coming, they were people arriving with no coat. I had a gentleman show up in sandals here, and it was snowing that day. The families we've seen have come back at least 2 to 3, sometimes 4 times. And every time they come, they sit with our case manager because we want to do a follow-up. What have you done since the last time we saw you? What else do you need?
At the Relief Center, new arrivals can apply for state IDs, which allow them to apply for housing and jobs, as well as food and medical assistance programs. They can also get help from volunteers to navigate FEMA's housing claim system. That's something Rivera says is crucial. When FEMA denied his family's assistance request, he says they were caught in red tape and confusion for weeks. With the help of an English-speaking neighbor at the hotel, they finally learned they could appeal its decision. They were just granted about $4,500 that will go toward the rebuilding of their home in Ciales and some of their expenses in Hartford. Rivera would like to go back to his home, but he isn't sure that leaving Connecticut is the right move for him and his family.
If we are able to get some extra help here, I'd like to stay. Even before the storm, there was barely any work. The situation was bad. Imagine now. With a little bit of help, my family and I can move forward.
A study by the Center for Puerto Rican Studies at Hunter College estimates another 100 to 200,000 Puerto Ricans will move to the U.S. mainland in the next 12 months. Most will settle in states with large Puerto Rican populations, like Florida, Pennsylvania, New York, and Connecticut.